We are here, guys, the final race in this 2024 F1 season. What a season this has been. From the boring start to the season, to McLaren's rise, to the 1 month where we all thought this was a title race, to Ferrari's late challenge, and now to the final race of the season. This is one to remember for sure, and all we could hope for is that 2025 lives up to the same potential. Well, just like every season, the season closer is held at Abu Dhabi, which is everyone's favorite racetrack, totally. Now, in fairness, this track actually has quite improved over the years thanks to its modifications, but now it's just a bad track compared to the horrible piece of dog shit it was, so it's barely an improvement. So despite that, I actually think this race could be quite good given the context of everything plus the tight grid. This race has produced good races too, like in 2012, 2014, 2016, and of course, 9/11. So before we continue any further, I very quickly want to give my thanks to you all for supporting me. I was scared to start this channel, but I am really glad I have, since this community means the world to me, and I promise that the content will take its next step in 2025, since I know there is ways to go in my content, but I am learning how to make better videos, edit better, and all those sorts of things. So again, thank you all for the support. It has been an honor to cover the weekends from Canada to Abu Dhabi, and I can't wait for the full season next season. So you know the drill by now. Let us look at the upgrades teams will be bringing, the drama from the last weekend, the ones to watch for the race, and of course, my delusional predictions for the race and quali. But before we go any further, make sure to join the Discord where we have lots of fun and react to the races live. Also, subscribe if you are new if you have an obsession of ducks and maybe hawks too. So enough yapping, and here is the final weekend preview for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. As always, upgrades first, and well, it's the final race of the season, so there's not really any upgrades for the teams, so it's really just track specifics and nothing else. But to make up for that fact, I will talk about the team's upgrades for next season and a little glimpse of what can be expected from them, and yes, I will talk about all 10 teams. So let us start with Sauber, and for next year, we can expect them to be closer to the field unlike how they were this year, and I say this because their recent form surely means some more knowledge for their car, but also because the Audi influence is becoming more prevalent and they are starting to pour more resources into helping them. Now, admittedly, I have zero evidence, but I don't know, man. Try and find some sort of optimism with these lines and tell me I'm wrong after. Now for the Williams guys, and I actually have evidence for next year. It'll be relatively the same. James AEIOU has said many times at this point that they don't care about 2023, 24, or 25, since 2026 is the year they come back. And hey man, if they are right, then great, since they backed up their words. But if they are wrong, oh man, you're gonna have some explaining to do, Mr. AEIOU. Now for VCarb, and admittedly, I can't see how things get better for these guys. Firstly, track specifics are heading their way as they're ready to give it their all for the end of the season, since I would imagine it's pretty embarrassing to be done like this. You know, how they were 6th and comfortably ahead, then Haas locked in and Alpine spawned out of nowhere and now they're 8th? Yikes, man. Next year should not be too different either, for better or for worse, since they will be point scorers, but with the field so tight, they need to find something, but I also really doubt that. I say this because these cars typically recycle parts from last year's Red Bull, and with that RB20, yeah, let's wish them luck. Now for Alpine, and if trends are anything to go by, next year should be much better for them, but I do want to place emphasis on should. This team have a bit of a nasty habit of doing good at the end of seasons, then absolutely dropping the ball next season, and I wouldn't doubt it from happening, but perhaps the new leadership under Oliver Oaks can fix that. I still doubt it. Next, we have Haas, and these guys should also bring some minor track-specific parts as they hope to close out 6th in the Constructors. I am praying these guys get 6th because they really deserve it. Last year there were jokes under Steiner, and now they are genuinely seen serious again under Komatsu and are helped by Toyota with their cars in partnership. If Ole and Ocon keep it clean next year, then genuinely, 5th place might be achievable for these guys again. Speaking of how they get 5th, Aston Martin should not improve whatsoever, especially with the prospect of the new regs in 26 and Newey leading that project. Yeah, it's basically confirmed these guys will just play around next year and hopefully come back in 26. I will not be surprised if these guys finish like 6th or 7th next year, but it better be worth it, just like with Williams for 2026. Now for the top dogs, and Mercedes, according to Russell I believe, should be better next year. Oh wow, man, a Mercedes driver saying Mercedes will be better next year after a lackluster year? I wonder why I've heard that before. These guys since 2022 have been saying that next year would be better, but to be fair to George, they're actually really good this year, and if progress is anything to go by, maybe next year is a W for them, but alas, it is their word. Next, we have Red Bull, or I should instead say the Max Verstappen F1 team. Yes, that is exactly what they are, especially if Checo stays next year, since genuinely, what has this man contributed to them this season? Anyways, this is off topic. Next year should be relatively the same for them, so that being a car to deliver results, but by no means the clear fastest car. How will you perform next year, Max? The world awaits for your next course of action. Moving on is Ferrari, and next year is going to be so fun, I hope. Lewis is in red and will hopefully be given a car that he likes and can cook in, since Mercedes have failed and surely we won't fail, right guys? When have we ever failed to deliver on their world champion's promise, right guys? Nah. Anyways, Charles 2 should be very interesting, since if Ferrari stay how they are or get better hopefully, this will undoubtedly be his best chance since 2022 for the title. A new man with new leadership and a new teammate, Charles could genuinely evolve next season, and I really hope so. And finally, McLaren, and next year these guys should be the favorites. If McLaren rock up to preseason and they aren't 3/10 faster, I will cut my leg off and eat it live on stream Fire Giant style. Anyways, they have had their learning experience this year. Now let's see if they actually learn something and can win both titles for next year. Anyways, now for the drama from Qatar, and we don't have much to be honest, but we do have a strange one though, the sprint race. In case you don't know, Lando Norris was about to win a lights the flag sprint. However, in an Austria 2002 move, he gets out the way and lets his teammate Pastry get the dub instead, and Now it's because of what happened in Brazil. In Brazil, Pastry was leading the sprint but was forced to get out the way for Lando, so this is essentially Lando returning the favor, and being objective per the rules, good on Lando, that was very nice of him, especially because the team told him not to do that. But now in my opinion, I hate this. This would not have happened if the team orders from Brazil never happened, and I absolutely just hate team orders even when it is Ferrari, since I just don't like them, simple as that. I want the drivers to race and win what they earn, not what they are handed. I get it, teamwork and image, but like still, nothing will ever change my opinion on team orders, but let's see if you guys can sway me. Anyways, moving on, and we have Max Verstappen getting a 1-place grid penalty in Qatar, as well as just the FIA officiating as a whole. This is the wokeness they talk about when referring to modern sports. What on earth is a 1-place grid penalty? Give him a 3-place grid penalty, give him a time penalty for the race, give him a drive-through, give him something better, or worse rather, than this stupid 1-place grid thing, since it just seems like it was petty and the sake of giving a pen for the love of it. And also, what on earth was the race? A stop and go pen for speeding under yellows? A drive-through for a safety car infringement? I wanted these pens to return, but in this way? I don't think so. Just very weird yet again by the FIA. Next, we have the rumors of Ocon being dropped by Alpine for the last race. As of writing, these rumors have not yet come true, so if they haven't, good, and if they did, why? Reports say it's because this will allow him to partake in Haas's post-season test, which, okay, I get, but like, why? This just leaves a sour taste in my mouth, and I expect in yours too. Typical Alpine moment, I guess. Finally, we say goodbye to many drivers this weekend. RIP Valtteri Bottas, you were cool and underrated, and you will be remembered for your sacrifices to Lewis Hamilton. RIP Zhou Guanyu, we will not forget you pre-Silverstone 2022. You were never the same after that. RIP Kevin Magnussen, I love you Pookie, and I will root for you in WEC. RIP Daniel and Logan, I know it's late, but you guys were cool, especially you Daniel. You were the brightest of them all. RIP Lewis and Mercedes, like a phoenix, you die looking great and come back bright red, ready to give inspiration, and please Lewis, please do that. If I forgot someone, too bad. Posted a duck, and it's been reported that Checo will leave after Abu Dhabi, but is this even news? Now for the ones to watch this weekend, and let us keep an eye on Lewis, since for his final race, I don't know why, I'm feeling an engine DNF, and knowing his luck at the team recently, I would really not doubt that. Also, go watch all of the partying drivers, since we will see heartbreak or we will see some cook sessions, and either way, we will be there. Now, for the final time, let us make some spicy and not basic at all predictions for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. As always, it must be stated that we will predict 3 things: the top 5 in the quali, the top 5 in the race, and a random prediction from any session. It should also be noted that these predictions are based on nothing but pure vibes, so bear with me. Anyways, let's begin with our predictions, and we first have quali predictions, and I predict that the top 5 on Saturday, starting with 5th, will be Kevin Magnussen, and 4th will be George Russell, and 3rd will be Charles Leclerc, and second will be Lando Norris, and for a pole position I have Max Verstappen after a quali decided by the toe. Now for the top 5 on Sunday for the race, and starting with 5th will be Oscar Piastri, and 4th will be Carlos Sainz, and 3rd will be Charles Leclerc, and 2nd will be Lando Norris, and the winner of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix is Max Verstappen with McLaren winning the World Constructors Championship. Now for my lineup prediction, and I predict that the race will be so boring that I will sleep until it's time to record the winners and losers. So that was my weekend preview for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Overall, I don't expect a banger, but I expect a nice end to this amazing season of F1 racing. Again, quick thanks to everyone for this journey with YouTube, and I truly love you guys so much. By the way, after the winners and losers come up, expect a recap and a winners and losers to the entire 2024 season as a whole, so keep an eye out for that. Anyways, I want to give a quick shout out to all members of the flock for their continued support, and remember, if you want to see videos early and get some more cool benefits, make sure to join it since it also really helps me out. Anyways, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe for better content, and make sure to let me know in the comments what your predictions are, and as always, have an amazing day.
Good weather for the duck.